Welcome to That's What She Said, where we'll spill the tea on women empowerment in the Great Lakes Bay region with your host, Christiana Malacara.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to That's What She Said with me, Christiana Malacara. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in this week, last week, next week, in the future weeks. This has been an amazing 2 seasons, and we are just, gosh, every time I think about that, it's like we're just scratching the surface. You know how many amazing women are out there doing the thing? They are just making it happen. And on That's What She Said, we give them the opportunity to just highlight, share, advise, spill the tea. It's exactly what it is. That's What She Said was created to spill the tea on women empowerment. So this advice, this tea, the said tea that is being spilled is for everyone. It is for everyone. I have listeners of all ages. I have listeners who are men and women, just youth, all walks of life. So that's what she said. When it was built, we came up with a mission and a vision statement. And right off the bat, I said, student to CEO, everyone in between, they all have a story on whichever part of their journey they are currently on. So as I move from week to week, I tend to jot things down. I tend to have these moments of deep, epic thought with that first cup of coffee in the morning. And fairly recently, I had come across the idea of routine. Routine. What is routine? I admittedly say I am not the type A person. I like my routine to be shooken up and stirred. But I have many friends who have a very strict routine. Is if either it's in the morning or at night or weekly. That could be with journaling. It could be with meditation and prayer. It could be with exercise. And then I thought to myself, in the bigger picture of things, do we have a routine on how we exist with the people in our life? Do we routinely reach out to who may need us? Do we routinely let people reach into us? What does this routine look like when we are looking at that bigger picture of who is in our lives and the things of what we do? Are we involving people, places, and things into our life routine that uplift us? I'm sure these little micro, yes, I journal, yes, I read, yes, I go for a jog, those micro routine items are wonderful to have. But as we shift from this, That's What She Said day to the next, let's think about the larger picture, the routine. Who is it and what are these places and what are these things that we are involving in our big picture routine to push and propel us forward to a better person? I have an amazing guest with me today. I love having guests that I get to know here on air with you. It is just a very, very raw and thoughtful conversation at the same time. I have Miss Sharrie Williams with us. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I have been wanting to meet you for quite some time.
Okay.
We have I'll say mutual friend, and this person just speaks very highly of you. And so when your name came across to contact you to come on, I was thrilled. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So can you please introduce yourself to the community and how the community might know you?
Oh, my name is Sharrie Williams-Crawford. I am the Princess of Rock and Gospel Blues, born and raised in Saginaw, Michigan. I am also the water aerobics instructor. I'm also Chef Sharrie. You name it, I got 18 jobs. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. The first word you said was princess.
Absolutely.
You are the princess of
Rocking Gospel Blues.
Rocking Gospel Blues. And that was just scratching the surface, but that's a big title. I mean, a princess, come on.
Well,
elaborate, please.
Okay, so it must have been about maybe 92. I opened up for Coco Taylor, which is the queen, and her band named me the princess.
In 1992.
Yep. And at that same time, my husband was like, "Well, you're the princess, but you're the princess of everything." And I'm like, "Well, I don't want to be the princess of everything, but the music that I do is I do a little bit of Tina Turner, so that's the rock. And I was born and raised in the church, so I would never lose my roots. So the Clark sisters, Shirley Caesar, that's the gospel. When I was going through a hard time in my life, it was the blues that saved me during that period because I had walked away from God. So the blues helped me get up and realize you got to go back to what's going to keep you saved. And that's the gospel.
Wow.
So, yeah, the Princess of Rock and Gospel Blues and more.
And more. And it sounds, you said specifically 18 jobs. I have 18 jobs. That's quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, that's a Jamaican saying. But I do, I keep busy. I'm a giver. I love people. Sometimes I don't like them, but I genuinely love with my whole heart. And that causes me to be like an octopus. I'm kind of always doing whatever God gives me to do. I think the scripture said, wherever your hands, put your hands to the plow, do it. So I've just been blessed to be able to be an advocate at times for people in the hospital and um, be a life coach to people that needs to be, you know, somebody to speak to or to be able to share their issues and I can be a sounding board or I can be an answer.
Mm.
You know, um, a lot of times when people want to talk, they just want to talk. They don't want answers. So I had to learn to listen because I always want to fix the problem.
Couple thoughts here. My first one is, gosh, a lot of times women, we tend to be the people pleasers. And it's almost this odd default, right? Maybe it's ingrained in us generationally,
Mhm.
or instinctually. We want to fill the gap and make it smaller. And sometimes we've noticed that, like, I'm a people pleaser, has this negative connotation to it. But here it sounds like you're redefining this as I have a big heart. I love. How do you define those two? And when do we know that they're different?
Well, when you're people pleasing, there's no pleasure for you because you're just constantly, there's no reciprocation. You're constantly trying to do whatever you can do for the people. And so, because I'm raised in church, so I often refer back to those life lessons that I learned in church. So, the scripture says, "Don't pour your pearls before swine." What are my pearls? What are you talking about, God? When you talk about my pearls, our gifts, our talents, uh, the energy that God has given us, and then we begin to pour it to the people. I'm not saying people are pigs. I'm saying the spirit of a swine is to greed up everything they can get, consume everything they can get, but never produce anything. So you're pouring your pearls, my music, my love, my food, my care. And then the question is, how do I know that it's swine?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm glad you asked. This is how we know we're serving a pig when they don't evolve, they don't grow, you don't see any movement, they're not going upward, they're not going forward, they're always coming backwards, or they're always there to pour their issues out on you, but never no production. They don't produce anything. They're just consuming everything, all your time, all your energy. And when you start getting frustrated, you got to look at that situation and say, you just might be a pig.
So there's no reciprocation, limited communication,
Mm-hmm.
and all there is absorbing what you're giving.
All the time. And you will go through life and wake up one day and say, all I did was give. Now, the good thing about that is God is a giver. So you have to know the difference. Uh, God grant me to God grant me the strength to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So we have to learn, is this God? Is this a God thing? Or is this something that's going to distract me? Something that's going to put pressure on me? And you could tell right away because I had a situation just happen just a couple of days
I was
ago.
just going to ask.
Oh
It
yeah.
sounds like this is a lived experience. And do you mind sharing an example?
Oh, I had so there was a person that was in my life, and she just every time. So I'm having a personal summer. So I got to get my air going. I'm sorry. And so because of the way I give to people, she just started taking advantage of that.
Mhm.
And um and I would always allow her to come in and do the little ignorant stuff that she would do because
Mhm.
I was trying to operate in the spirit of love. And okay, she needs some help, she needs somebody, she's gone through everything else that I've gone through, everything that you've gone through, and somebody else has gone through. But we decided we didn't want to stay stuck. See, a lot of people stay stuck. They want to be in neutral, and then they want to drag you down in their pig swine with them. And we don't have time for that.
Mhm.
So when you know that person, you can tell because it starts to wear on you. Or if the phone ring, especially when you've had it up to here, I'm done. When the phone ring, you see it and you're mm-mm, beep, beep, beep,
We don't
beep.
have the energy for this.
Don't, I'm in a different space. Before I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to be an advocate, I'm trying to be a friend, I'm trying to do all those things. But I'm doing that in my natural power, it's going to consume me. So now I did everything I could do in my natural power. Now I'm going to turn you over to the Lord because He created you. And my hands are too small to box with God. Okay, so sister girl, you gonna have to get that together. And I'm telling you, so she ended up calling me, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to do that again.
Yeah.
And I could feel that anxiety,
Mhm.
even when she began to talk, and she would say something. I said, nope, I don't. I'm not going back to the past. I'm not. Well, I just want to. Nope, not bringing that up. So
Yeah.
because they want to keep going backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to be swine. We're moving forward.
And that's what she said. We come up with different theories based off conversations we've had. And we've had so many. And one thing that I've learned is this theory that I call stuck in the still. So, is she still doing this? Am I still going to allow this stuck in that still mentality? Uh, you're not moving. You're not moving. And as women, it's like, let's encourage each other. Let's keep going. Let's move. So you briefly said the analogy, the biblical analogy of pearls, right? And that is something that is so valuable and tender and
Mhm,
rare.
mhm,
Um, Sometimes, in the modern world, they can be artificially created.
mhm.
So, continuing on that analogy, we can artificially, create a pearl for ourselves that we might think is good, but there's these genuine pearls. What does that feel like when you give the pearls to the right people?
Oh, immediate gratification. When you pour your pearls before the right people, there's immediate gratification. You can sense spiritually this is the right thing. Like today is the right thing for me. I don't just do interviews just because to do it. I literally I go, Lord, now what is it gonna benefit? Who is it gonna help? Why are we doing this? That's why I want to know, what did she say? And so when you realize you benefit from it, you're moving forward, you're moving upward, you're evolving. But when it's swine, you're stuck in the swine pen. Now just imagine a pig in a swine pen. I don't care how you clean them up, they go back to that swine pen unless they choose to do something different. And you have to know the difference.
That can I was going to say that can be, but I imagine that that is challenging to identify.
Of course it is.
We get these as women, we get busy.
Because you want to help. If you're like me, I'm a love bug. So I want to help. And a lot of times the love bug usually get dumped on. I wrote a song, Lover by Trade.
Yes.
I usually get burnt from the very start, because I'm pouring out with my heart. So the Bible also tells us to be careful about our heart. We have to watch over it because
Guard
out
your
of
heart.
it flows the issues of life. People will crush you. And not because they just want to, because they've been crushed. They've been beat up. They don't even know any other way to respond or react other than through their pain. And we have to identify, is this a pain that I can help you with? Or do I need to send you to your therapist or lay you at the foot of Jesus? Ain't nobody got time for that.
Because we're moving forward. We're not stuck in the still.
And I wrote a song. I'm moving forward, and I can't look back. What am I looking back for? Okay, I look back to say, okay, I remember when I was a crack addict, and I can help this person because that person is on crack, and I can give them some advice. But we don't look back
Mhm.
at the past because we're moving forward, right?
That's a lesson. It sounds like it's a lesson. The past is a lesson that we learned, and who can we teach it to? Who can we? Okay, so then that leads me to my next thought is we were talking about working with and in communication, semi communication with said swine, right? That absorber. I call them
Forgive us, Lord.
energy. I call them energy vampires.
Drainers, toxic drainers.
Oh,
Yep.
completely. But when we're in this healthy pearl exchange, let's say,
Mhm.
what is it that you wish to receive?
When pouring out my pearls,
Yeah.
I have plenty pearls, so it depends on what I'm doing. So if I'm actually in my chefing capacity, I want to see your eyes just dazzle when you taste my food. And I want to, and I can see it, and I get immediate gratification when you smile and you go, you know, or when I'm doing my music, to actually see somebody get into it, and they can pull something out of it, or when they're leaving the concert, they're humming my tune, and the lyrics actually attach themselves to the person for healing. So the music is the healer. So if I don't see anything, then I feel like, I didn't quite hit the mark. But sometimes we don't know who we touched, because one can chase 1,000, two could put 10,000 to flee.
Say that again.
One can chase 1,000, two can put 10,000 to flee. So that means we've reached 11,000 people by just touching two. So I don't try to get everybody. Everybody's not going to don't want the story, but maybe two. And those two people are going to reach 11,000 people.
Have you seen this?
Yep.
Tell me.
Well, I perform overseas, and I've been in a situation where I did some music, a concert, and I came back maybe 2 or 3 years later, and I do this song called "What Kind of Man Is This?" And it's about being physically abused, because I was in an abusive relationship for 7.5 years. And I wrote this song about being physically abused, sang it, performed it. Lady never said anything to me. I didn't know anything about her, never. But 2 years later, I come back to this same place in Europe, and this woman runs to me and she says, "You know what? You mm, gave me the courage to get out of that relationship. Because you got to have courage because you're scared." And a lot of times women go through physical abuse. They don't have anybody to tell because first you're embarrassed. Because I'm Sharrie Williams. How would I allow somebody to beat on me? You're embarrassed. You're scared. You're in love with the abuser. So you got to be beat, healed, cured from the person that hurt you. That's crazy. That's chaos. You got to get out. That's why. Can't pour your pearls before that.
7.5 years.
Yes.
It's a cycle.
And you have to break the cycle because if I don't break the cycle, then my granddaughter will be abused or my grandsons will be the abusers. So we have to break the cycle.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. They know Nana don't play.
Sharrie Williams don't got time to play.
My sons, they know they don't fight women. Now, my oldest son, he may abuse himself, but he's not going to abuse a woman.
Thank you so much for sharing that piece. We have the princess. We have the love bug. We have Sharrie Williams on air with us. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and we're going to dig a little bit deeper. Maybe we can even have her, I don't know, sing a tune.
Oh, we gonna go deep, 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 deep down in my soul.
This is so exciting. So don't go too far. Tune back into That's What She Said with me.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malacara is back. Now let's spill the tea.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the second half of That's What She Said with Sharrie Williams-Crawford. She was telling us in the first segment that rock and gospel and blues, each in their individual way and each in their individual genre, helped her through a chapter of life. And this is really interesting to me because I like rock, I like gospel, and I like blues. And so it is an absolute honor to have the princess of all, the self-proclaimed love bug, which I feel like I got bit already, with us today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is an experience that I feel honored to have. In the last segment, you had said, I don't just interview with anybody. Thank you.
I don't. I mean, I'm not just being facetious or anything. I just, because people have motives, you know?
Yes.
You know, why you want me there?
Yeah. Because you're so cool.
Hello.
So we were talking about identifying the soundboard. And sometimes people, they just want to talk to you.
Dump.
Okay.
I'm not your garbage can.
Yeah.
And we have to know the difference. You got to know when somebody's dumping or when somebody really needs your help.
Who was the person that you were able to help guide you out of a dark time? Because sometimes that dump is necessary to clear our head, but to the right people. Who was that person for you?
Say that again. Who was the right person for
you that you were able to release to?
Oh, pour out. Okay. I'm gonna say my husband, who's in heaven, my partner, my soulmate, my best friend, my Italian stallion. He was a very gentle man. He taught me how to love myself. He loved me so much until he taught me how to love me. And in the beginning, I didn't. And all the things that I had poured inside that I couldn't get out, the molestation, being ostracized, being always left on the sideline, you know, um, he helped me to recognize that I'm more than enough, So when he passed away, I got this tattoo so I can remind myself that I'm more than enough. And his heartbeat is with me. I'm going to continue the musical journey with myself and my son Charles and my other son. And then my brother, who was my sidekick, he passed away as well. So when I go through something, I just kind of touch my arm and I know I'm more than enough. Even if you don't want me, I'm more than enough. I mean, you may not need me, but somebody does. And so Pops was that guy. He said, Mom, you can tell me anything you want to tell me. And the Bible says, husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church. What did Christ do for the church? He laid his life down. That's what my husband done for me. I'm living right now in the residue of his love. I'm still single. He's been gone 7 years. And I still feel like I'm married to him. I don't wear my wedding ring here, but I wear it here. So I'm open to be somebody else's wife, but I'm wife material, so I'm not just a girlfriend. So
This is true. So she sings, she does water aerobics, we cook. I mean, what like this profile though? You said that he taught you to love yourself.
Mm.
Then you paused and said, because you didn't. You didn't love yourself?
Mm-mm.
What? That's okay. So we have loads and loads of listeners, all walks of life. And some of them might not love themselves in this moment as they're tuning in, this God sent moment. What advice would you give her?
About loving herself.
Yeah.
So God created us unique. He created us in his image. He loved us so much that he gave his only son. So therefore we know we are loved. But sometimes life has a way of making you think nobody cares about me. Nobody loves me. Like I said, through the molestation and being dark skinned, my other siblings, the girls were light skinned. My grandma, she made a difference in color. So I didn't know how to love myself. And so I'm saying to the woman that did not experience love, what the one woman told me, she said, uh, well, you had a man that showed you how to love. And well, yeah, but I had to be able to receive it though.
Mm.
See, you can love me and you can do everything in your power to show me. But if I don't receive it, there's a wall there.
Do you receive it now?
Oh, yeah. I love me some me. When I teach my water aerobics class at the end, I pray for the class and I tell them, hug yourself. They hug themselves. I said, and tell yourself, I love me some me because it's a fat chance that somebody else won't. Okay? So you better learn to love you. And that's what my husband taught me, to love Sharrie. I'm lovable. I'm a lover by trade. I go into the world, highways and hedges, and my message, my drum beat is love. I don't have any other beat. It's love. That's the thing that will change the world. One person at a time. One can chase 1,000. Two can put 10,000 to flee.
Wow.
How many people are you reaching?
I'm going to ask for another piece of advice because my listeners know this one. I'm Christiana Malacara, and I have a hard time accepting compliments.
Well, so the enemy don't want you to accept compliments. You are created by God, beautifully made. And you're beautiful. I'm looking at you
Oh,
myself. I was admiring your eyebrows.
thank
I'm
you.
like, okay, she got good
Thank you.
eyebrows.
I
Okay,
do.
girl, go ahead. Nice smile. Yeah, you got to learn to love yourself. God is love.
So, receiving compliments, I think in general, I've had lots of women sit across from me and they just come across this idea of, well, it could be better, which I agree. There's always room for improvement.
Of course.
Relationships, and,
Of course.
with anyone in your life, friendships, work environment, all the way down to, well, I could have a better car, right?
Of course.
So, where is this point of satisfaction? Is there a point of satisfaction? Or you're a successful woman. Do we just keep climbing?
Pretty much. I'm working. Okay, so I always say in this business, whether I'm doing food or music, there's no competition
Why do you say that?
because I'm only competing with me. I'm always competing with being better than I was yesterday. And when God calls for Sharrie, I got to be in my job. I got to be ready to stand up and do whatever God required me to do, whatever that calling is. And I can't be trying to be you because then I'm going to miss the mark. So I'm always competing with me. I'm not afraid of any singer. I toss the mic to anybody and they can blow. I don't really, for me, music is the voice of God. It's an international language. So I'm doing music because it's a gift from God. I do food because it's a love. I like to see people happy. And so, yeah,
So it's essentially not competition with yourself, but this movement of just trying to be the best version of yourself
bettering myself
every time you open your eyes.
every single day. And then I'm getting up in age now. So now
No.
there's this little thing in the back that says, them 60s is kicking in on you, girl. What you gonna do now?
Ibuprofen. That's all.
Well, I can't do ibuprofen.
Oh.
But I do
Water
have a
aerobics.
good regimen for food, and I've lost 127 pounds.
Pause right there. So that I'm gonna just assume there was a routine to that.
2016, I've been on a routine.
Okay, we're gonna veer to this.
Okay.
What's the routine?
Consistency.
Is that
Anything you
challenging?
do, you got to be consistent because it ain't going to happen overnight. You will see the results, but you got to stay consistent. And I mean, I've been on every diet in the world, everyone. But when I recognize what I really need to do, that's what I did. Like right now, I had a total hip replacement in May of last year. This year was a year, but I picked up some pounds because I was laid up for a long time. So I told my class, I says, okay, anybody want to go with me to drop these 15 pounds? And
I'm raising my hand.
okay. And so I give them a regimen, what they need to do. I had two people in the class did exactly what I told them to do. I got their diet. I told them where to get their food. Told them what exercises to do. Gave them a motivational moment for the day. And you got to talk to yourself. You know, a lot of times people don't talk to themselves. I do. Girl, you know you're looking good today.
Mm.
Oh, you know you missed that. You might want to go back and apologize. You know,
Self-talk in positive and kind of this checking yourself way.
yeah,
Do we need both?
yeah.
Why?
Because otherwise you're not gonna make it in this world. It's a lot of people. And okay, so my brother-in-law, Mickey Crawford, 1958 world champion boxer. He said, Sharrie, 75% of the world is negative. So if 75% of the world is negative, that negative thought can jump in your head too, right? So you got to drive that thought out of your head. The Bible declares that the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, but the violent take it by force. It ain't going to just jump in your lap. You got to work for it. It's a daily routine.
Consistency.
Consistent, persistent. I demand, command today. I didn't meet the mark yesterday, but baby, what she said gonna do this today. You better ask somebody.
Let's get back to music.
Okay.
It's exciting to have someone who's familiar with a microphone.
Okay.
Right? So one, let's get some what'd you call it? Uh Belting sounds. What did you call it? Uh this is an act of melody, right? But we're projecting it. That's how I feel when you sent me some songs.
Mhm.
And when you sent them to me, I listened to each and every one of them. The world is in trouble. Lover by trade. Where does that inspiration come from?
Holy Spirit. The world is in trouble. I was in Luxembourg, and when I'm out of the country, I usually don't watch television. I'm really not a television person anyway. I will listen to the news because I want to know what's going on because I'm nosy.
For sure.
Anyway, you better find out what's going on, where we got to hide out at, what we got to do. Anyway, so I'm in Luxembourg. I go down to the lobby to get something to eat. Um, while I'm down there, they have all these screen TVs, just total chaos. Everything was chaotic. I think during that time they were bombing the airports or something over there, and so I knew Satan wanted to invoke fear, but God has not given me the spirit of fear. I left and went overseas at 9:15, right after the towers went down 9/11. I left on 9:15, chasing my musical career. Nobody showed up. They couldn't believe it. This young girl just budding into music pops up into Paris for a whole month, and the promoter says, "Well, you must be a really strong girl. You're not afraid?" I says, "Well, if I stay at home, it could happen at home." You know, a lot of people use this, "Oh, girl, I'm scared to fly." Well, you could drive and run into a car, or you could be Susie who was coming down the stairs and saw a mouse and scared herself to death, and ran and jumped and killed herself because she hit her head. Okay, so life happens. So what am I going to do? Stand still and wait to die?
Stuck in the
No.
still.
No, I'm not stuck on stupid. I'm not stuck in neutral. I'm not standing still. I am moving, actively moving forward, even when it don't feel like it. Because sometimes you're moving real slow, but every step helps. Every little movement counts. You got to keep moving. So
There's this mindset shift that needs to happen to create momentum. And the way that I envision momentum is just this slide moving forward. Your analogy is steps moving forward. When was the pivot? When was your mindset shift of we're taking a step forward?
96. I was a crack addict. I'm 29 years clean today. And I did not want to die like that. I didn't intend to get like that. But that people pleasing you talked about earlier, that's how I ended up strung out on crack, trying to please somebody, trying to be accepted, trying to be loved by somebody that don't even know what love is. But when I made that turn, my husband, he said, "Girl, you got a monkey on your back. You got to get that monkey off your back because if you don't, it's going to turn into a gorilla." And he helped me. He stayed right there. He took me to rehab. He helped watch my kids like they were his kids. And the rest is like history. Like I go out and I'm actively uh, walking in my 12th step, which is taking the message to the world. What is the message?
What is the 12th step?
12 step program. Taking the message to the world. That's my 12th step. I'm taking everything that I learned in those 12 steps and I'm taking it to the world to help somebody, to be of service. And that's the thing, people don't like to give. When you give, you're giving an extension of yourself. I don't have time today to be in this room, but somebody may hear something, one little thing that I might say, one, and that person is going to chase 1,000 people. So it's beneficial. It's reciprocated. I'm going to get it back one way or the other. But when you pour into swine pen, you don't get nothing back. Just swine.
You said in 1992 you were given the title of Princess of Rock, Gospel, and Blues. And you went through a dark time, and the blues brought you back. Do you mind maybe either sharing a lyric or a phrase that is in one of your songs, that is that word, those words of encouragement, those blues that can bring someone back?
Got me. She made me sweat, y'all. Lyrically, one of my songs, or
Yes. Yeah.
I've been seeking, I've been searching, still I can't find nobody to love me like you. Oh Lord, nobody but you. That song, because I was looking for somebody. Well, my mother had passed. She left me. And my sister, she passed. She is gone. And my friends, those so-called friends, they deceive me. Oh, Lord, you never left me all alone. Ooh, woo, 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 woo. I've been seeking. What are you looking for? I've been searching, always searching. Still, I can't find nobody to love me like you do. God gonna always love us. Even when we the dirtiest, rottenest, messed up people ever, God is gonna always be there to love you through your madness. And your madness becomes your message. And you get out there and you put it out there.
So what is your message? What is a piece of advice you would give to a woman in the Great Lakes Bay region?
Get off of the couch, get your health together, get your mind in order. Don't worry about the past, and let's keep moving forward. Okay? Let's stay consistent, persistent, and demand and command your day.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Sharrie Williams, the Princess of Rock and Gospel Blues. And that's what she said.